NTA Knowledge, learning to broaden horizon.
Information is power. Everyone wants power. So feel powerful with the NTA News mobile app, the one-stop information center. Real news at your fingertip. Be the first to report by uploading first-hand information on the U Report link, and be the first to know by simply clicking on any of the links on the sidebar for headlines, domestic and foreign news, economy, security, politics, sports, and more. Stream live on your smartphone and tablets and stay connected. It's pretty easy. Simply download NTA News app from your Google Play Store and you're good to go. NTA News mobile app, your access to real-time information.
The finals of the Men and Women African Cup of Nations. It's always frenetic. On days such as this, there are no tribes, no religion. Here, Nigerian warriors are out to represent, to show the skills that makes us the best. On days like this, the color is one. The color is green. When we get the job done, it is because we have stuck together. When we celebrate, we stand together. Nigerians, united in victory. We are Nigerians. We are one.
Hello, it's another Wednesday. I'm Rhoda Obo, welcoming you to News Extra. Top on tonight's billing, 8 new universities to come on stream as federal government gives the nod to enable more Nigerian students access to tertiary education. And talking about access on a wider scale, the Progressives Governors Forum says its main business is to ensure that Nigerians have more dividends of democracy under the APC. In other news, the first African indoor shooting gallery range is inaugurated at the Nigerian Defense Academy. It is part of efforts to combat emerging security threats. Also tonight, 100 days of Abuja-Kaduna Standard Gauge Railway. Correspondent and special assignment brings us a special situation report, plus texting and unsolicited messages on GSM. These and more on News Extra tonight. Once again, you're welcome. But first, let's begin with the Federal Executive Council meeting held today, as the federal government has approved the establishment of 8 new private universities in the country, as recommended by the National Universities Commission, NUC. The Minister of State for Education, Professor Anthony Onwuka, who announced this while briefing newsmen after the Federal Executive Council meeting, said this is to give more opportunity to the teeming population of Nigerian students seeking admission into universities. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports that the government also reacted to the minor setback regarding its request for foreign borrowing plan before the National Assembly.
This is the 20th meeting of the Federal Executive Council under the Buhari presidency, and this time education as a pivot around which genuine development revolves dominated discussions. With President Muhammadu Buhari presiding, the council critically analyzed the recommendations by the National Universities Commission in respect of the various requests for the establishment of new private universities in the country. 8 of them, believed to have complied with the stipulated conditionalities, were therefore approved. They include Anko University, Ayobo Lagos State, Otho Jarvis University, Akpabuyo Cross River State, Clifford University, Owarinta Abia State, and Call City University, Enugu State. Others are Crown Hill University, Eyonkorin Kwara State, Dominican University, Ibadan Oyo State, Kola Daisy University, also in Oyo State, and the Legacy University, Okija.
This is done to make sure that the teeming population of Nigerian students seeking admission into universities are given the opportunity to do so. While approving these universities for licensing provisionally for 3 years, those universities will be mentored by some existing and other universities in Nigeria, after which we visit the approvals and make sure that they are doing the needful in providing meaningful, responsive education to Nigerian youth.
The Federal Executive Council also approved a revised contract for the completion and upgrade of the Port Harcourt International Airport. The International Wing project is now to gulp 1.6 billion naira, and 1.4 billion naira is to be expended on the domestic wing.
So very soon we would complete that very important airport, especially the arrival, where if you are a traveler, you arrive at Port Harcourt Airport and the scene there, it's not desirable. And that's why at some point that they tagged Port Harcourt as one of the worst airports in the world. But by the grace of God and the wisdom of the council, it has been approved that it will be concluded and finished.
The Minister of State for Aviation also reacted to reports that some foreign airlines are planning to relocate from Nigeria.
Foreign airlines had about $600 million stock in Nigeria. And with the devaluation, $600 million can become $100 million. However, government responded immediately due to our intervention, and they have now been giving 50% of that money, about $300 million from CBN. And gradually we would square them up, and then they won't owe us. And I think once that happens, they're not going to go anywhere. Nigeria is 177 million people, serving West and Central Africa. But the most important incentive is between now and next week Wednesday, we will appoint a transaction advisor for the national carrier. And then once that is in place, Nigerians will have options.
In the meantime, the Minister of Information and Culture, Alhaji Lai Muhammad, has described as normal in a democracy the minor setback, the presidential request for approval of about $30 billion foreign borrowing plan suffered in the Senate.
Of course, you see, it's not unusual for the executive and legislative to have disagreement. They want more information, we give them, and we'll continue to engage them. But we are very confident that the legislative arm of government is also patriotic, and they will see by the time we function with further information, I'm sure our request will be granted.
Also at Wednesday's meeting, the Federal Executive Council approved the ratification of the Climate Change Paris Agreement, as well as the bilateral agreement against double taxation with the East African country of Kenya, where Nigeria is a net exporter of goods and services. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Nasarawa state government has expressed formal appreciation to President Muhammadu Buhari for the provision of a robust power infrastructure industrial revolution plan. Governor Umaru Tanko Almakura stated this to newsmen after the delivery message to the president on behalf of his people.
Only 2 weeks ago, a team was sent to ensure continuation of the process of injection substation, which is likely to provide the 330 substation that will be the foundation for effective power supply in the state. It was industrializing Nasarawa state through provision of robust power infrastructure.
The governor said his administration has also secured President Buhari's blessings for the mass housing program soon to commence at shelter for more Nigerians in need.
13,000 hectares, which will take care of both mass housing and industrial park. Having that very close to the federal capital is something that would add a lot of value to the lives of the people living within the federal capital and Nasarawa state as well. This will help relieve the federal capital territory with the congestion and gridlock with regard to population explosion. Already with this understanding and collaboration with the federal government, the activities of speculators has reduced to the barest minimum. By the time this is ready, I'm sure everybody within Abuja and Nasarawa will smile.
Governor Tanko Almakura there speaking to newsmen. Now, let's turn our attention to legislative matters as the first bill on the petroleum sector, the PIB, has passed second reading at the Senate's plenary on Wednesday. Waziri Zayanu reports that the contention bill has been referred to the Committee on Petroleum.
The petroleum industry bill seeks to split the NNPC into two independent entities, namely National Petroleum Company, NPC, and National Asset Management Company. Leading the debate on the bill, Senator Tayo Alaso Adura said the contentious bill was first introduced in 2008 but could not be passed in previous administrations of the National Assembly.
The primary reason is to reduce the risk of putting all federation assets under one entity in one basket.
I've seen the adverse effects of lack of proper legislation to guide the petroleum industry in this country.
The objectives of this bill can only be achieved in a very peaceful environment.
Senate President Bukola Saraki said the next part of the bill will focus on petroleum-producing communities.
Before we proceed further into the finalization of this part of the bill, the Committee on Petroleum must come with the bill regards the issue of the communities for discussion.
Also at the plenary, the Senate urged INEC to conduct elections in Rivers State not later than 10th of December 2016, failure of which will result in the red chambers suspending plenary.
INEC has failed, refused, and or neglected to conduct rerun elections in Rivers State into the Senate, House of Representatives, and State House of Assembly.
We have already approached INEC on this regard, and the chairman has promised us that the election will take place on the 10th of December.
On a sad note, the Senate plenary today also observed 1 minute silence each. The first is that of Lampa Gashaka, Dr. Hamman Gabdo, who was a member of the Northern Nigerian Parliament, who died at the age of 82. The second one is late distinguished Senator Salihu Otaru Ohize, senator representing Kogi Central constituency. He died in Abuja after a protracted illness. Outside plenary, the Senate Committee on the Independent National Electoral Commission has screened nominees as representatives from 6 states. The states are Delta, Oyo, Gombe, Anambra, Zamfara, and Niger. From the National Assembly, Waziri Zayanu, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the House of Representatives has passed for second reading a bill for an act to ensure financial autonomy of local governments in Nigeria. National Assembly correspondent Ignatius Nko has more.
The bill was sponsored by Representative Nkiru Kaonye-Jiocha from Abia State.
The whole aim is to detach the local government system from the apron strings of state governments and make them truly independent as envisaged by Section 7(1) of the Constitution.
The House resolved to investigate what it described as multiple violation of the Fiscal Responsibility Act by the Bureau of Public Enterprise, moved by Representative Abbas Tajuddin from Kaduna State.
Mandate the committees on privatization and commercialization and public accounts to organize an interface with BPE on this accusation by the Fiscal Responsibility Commission against the Bureau and report back to the House within 4 weeks.
I would rather suggest that we leave everything, proper investigation and thorough scrutiny on the hands of Public Account Committee only.
And if the allegations as alleged here are very correct, then there might be the need for sanction.
A bill for an act to establish the Chartered Institute of Tourism of Nigeria, sponsored by Representative Gideon Gwani, passed second reading.
Tourism is the second largest industry in our world, similar to other industries that generate revenue and contribute to a country's GDP.
Many countries in the world today, especially Israel, especially Singapore, especially Egypt, and many other countries of the world generate their revenue from tourism.
A total of 5 bills passed at first reading, and one of them is a bill for an act to make it mandatory for Nigerians to patronize locally made goods. Audience to Imo State Governor Rochas Okorocha, where they discussed issues bordering on national unity behind closed doors.
We are trying to bridge the gap and close ranks on how to unite, provide governance, leadership to our people of Nigeria, and also move our party forward.
We have discussed at length
One common decimal in our discussion was that whatever we're doing as politicians, as people, those that have been elected into positions of authority, we should put the interests of our people first.
From the National Assembly, Ignatius Nkwo, NTA News.
And still staying with the legislature, the Senate Committee on Customs has reiterated convictions towards ensuring that all leakages of financial misappropriation are blocked. Chairman of the committee stated this when he visited the establishment on an oversight function. Waziri Zeyanu reports.
In the course of its oversight, the committee made startling discoveries at various places across the country.
Van that is supposed to be assembling cars locally hid under that policy and has been smuggling in imported cars from South Korea, from Japan, from outside the country.
Senator Hope Ozodinma said stiffer penalties await those involved in acts that drain government revenue, while the country's borders will be tightened and fully equipped. In the meantime, the Senate Committee on Health has expressed dissatisfaction with the internally generated revenue of NAFDAC, as well as the proliferation of adulterated products in the Nigerian society. Chairman of the committee expressed his feelings while interacting with NAFDAC officials at the National Assembly.
NAFDAC has been in the eye of the public very, very recently in association with SON as regards importation of poisonous food into the country.
We also need to be there, unknown to them, to take random samples here and there, sent back to our lab to ensure that the quality is sustained.
In another development, Senate President has pledged his support towards domestication of the 1959 Convention of the Status of Stateless Person. He stated this when he received representatives of the United Nations Refugee Agency at the National Assembly. From the National Assembly, Waziri Zeyanu, NTA News.
Now, away from legislature, the group of Nigerians known as a Forum of Non-Governmental Organization of Nigeria is demanding that all judges involved in the recent corruption cases in Nigeria should step down. It is the group's second protest on the matter in Abuja, and Jibuno has more details.
These protesters say they are on a march against corruption. Their goal is for the judges involved in the recent corruption cases to step down. And they say they mean business. This is a coalition of non-governmental organizations in Nigeria. They are insisting that judges facing corruption charges are not fit to preside over cases in Nigerian courts. They say that the National Judicial Council should address the matter, insisting that the judiciary is not on trial.
We give them 7-day ultimatum that they should step down. And after 7 days, if they don't step down, we have no choice than to continue with our picketing. Today, the 7-day ultimatum lapsed.
The NJC president coming out yesterday to come and tell Nigerians that this set of people cannot step down and he doesn't have the right to hand them over to the appropriate authorities to investigate them is a stand we are totally against.
Over 50 non-governmental organizations participated in the march, which took off from the office of the head of service of the Federation to the National Judicial Council, the Federal High Court, and several other offices, including judiciary-related offices. In Abuja, Anne Jibuno, NTA News.
Former Head of State General Yakubu Gowon has called on all Nigerians to support the anti-corruption crusade of the federal government aimed at sensitizing the system and entrench good governance for all. General Gowon was speaking in Lafia during the North Central Zonal Rally of Nigeria Praise. Joshua Jito completes the report.
The former head of state and the convener of Nigeria Praise, General Yakubu Nigerians must shun all forms of corrupt practices that have hindered the growth and development of the nation, as he notes that the country has all potentials of a great nation. He therefore called for support through prayers for leaders at all levels, especially at this critical time of economic recession. General Gowon also appealed to all Nigerians to embrace peace. According to him, the unity and oneness of Nigeria is a task that all must pursue.
Let us always value the life of our fellow human beings that God has created and breathed life into. No one should ever take that life or human life with impunity.
The rally, which featured prayer session for Nigeria and leaders at all levels, had Nasarawa State Deputy Governor Silas Hagara, who took the biblical reading under the theme, "In Wrath, Remember Mercy." While in Nasarawa State, General Yakubu Gowon met with Governor Umaru Tanko Al-Makura, where the governor commended the former head of state for championing the cause of unity of the country through the Nigeria Press project.
Nigeria Press is a task that must be sustained.
In Lafia, Joshua Ojito, NTA News.
The Progressives Governors Forum says it will continue to support all the Progressives Congress in ensuring that Nigerians have access to dividends of democracy. The chairman of the forum, Rochas Okorocha, stated this at a closed-door meeting with members of the National Working Committee of the party in Abuja. Dele Atumbi reports.
Governor Okorocha said his visit was a unity call for all the stakeholders in the party to work for the progress of APC and the interest of Nigerians. He said the Progressive Governors Forum will do everything possible to ensure that the party remains united in order to be able to fulfill its electioneering promises to the people. Governor Okorocha said members of the National Working Committee of the party will be allowed to complete their term, while commending the fatherly role of the chairman of the party, John Odigi Oyegun, in piloting the party's affairs. Governor Okorocha advocated the need for all APC members to work for the success of the party in the forthcoming Ondo State governorship election.
Seeing me today reassures them that we're still one and they have not been forgotten. So do your best in spite of the situation we're going through. But remember that Nigeria is going through a difficult moment, and very soon we shall come out of it.
The Progressive Governors Forum equally says it will ensure proper funding of the party. In Abuja, Dele Atumbi, NTA News.
Towards achieving successful and effective budgetary allocation for 2017, the Senate Committee on Information and National Orientation has commenced an oversight visit to agencies and parastatals under the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture. National Assembly correspondent Dennis Adegunloye reports that this is with a view to assessing success levels in respect to 2016 budget implementations.
First port of call for the Senate Committee on Information and National Orientation was to the headquarters of the Nigerian Television Authority, where the Director General, Yakubu Ibn Mohammed, after specific observations from the senators, assured them that all efforts to reposition the authority are in top gear.
5 to 10% of your budget must go to engineering. And I say that for a very reason. You have to maintain and service your equipment. Then they can last longer. Sports brings unity to this country. 1 billion for sports is too little, but you must have minimum, and we want to see that in your budget.
This is an ongoing struggle, and we are working. I'm working personally with Shogun Odebami to see how we can turn around the fortunes of TS Sports. Our claim to being the largest network in Africa, is premised on our spread, and our spread is informed by the strength of our zone production centers and state capital stations.
The Director General is honest about challenges the authority faces in terms of revenue generation, and the senators pledged their support in blocking leakages.
This particular committee and the 8th Senate will partner with you, will defend you in doing the right thing. I want to assure you that.
The senators are impressed with the efforts of the Director General just a few months into his tenure, but say that developments in 2017 are in his hands.
You have now tips as to how you should prepare your budget against the 2017.
At the news agency of Nigeria, NAN, the managing director, Bayo Onanuga, highlights challenges in generating revenue and new ideas to improve on this. The senators, however, urge the agency to be more proactive in line with its original mandate. In the coming days, other agencies and the Ministry of Information and Culture will be visited. In Abuja, Dennis Adegunloye, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the federal government has congratulated a US-based Nigerian surgeon, Dr. Oluyinka Olutoye, on his recent feat in carrying out a successful operation on an unborn baby with tumor in her mother's womb. A senior special assistant to the president on foreign affairs and diaspora, Abike Dabiri Erewa, who conveyed the message in a statement, said President Muhammadu Buhari received the news of Dr. Olutoye's unique feat with excitement and fulfillment and looks forward to meeting him soon. The statement also stressed the need to celebrate Dr. Olutoye for the wonderful feat he performed in saving lives and projecting a good image for Nigeria. Dr. Oluyinka Olutoye and his surgeon partner, Dr. Darrell Cass of the Texas Children's Hospital, carried out an operation on a fetus at 23 weeks in the U.S. The baby, Lane Hope, who suffered from a tumor, was removed from her mother's womb, operated on, and returned back, healed and continued to grow until she was born at 36 weeks. This is to let you know that you can watch this news live on the go via the NTA mobile app, which you can download on your Android device at the Google Play Store or the Apple Store if you use devices with iOS. Now, did you know that the Abuja-Kaduna Railway has operated on a regular basis for 100 days? We'll tell you more about this. Plus, Chief of Air Staff on accounting system, you get to hear from him. Join us for more details of this and, of course, more on News Extra when we return. Stay with us.
Once in a generation, a technology emerges that transforms a nation. Glo's new 4G network is exactly that. It is by far the fastest mobile internet in Nigeria and the first with nationwide coverage. Government institutions and big business will have the tools they need to build the powerhouse of Africa. Small business will be enabled to make the big leap. Medical procedures will be more advanced and your home will become truly smart. With our most extensive national optic fiber network linked seamlessly to Glo One submarine cable, it is data speed and capacity beyond imagination. 4G will accelerate Nigeria's progress into the Super League, and everyone will see their lives change beyond recognition. The wait is over. Welcome to 4G LTE from Glo. Welcome to the new speed of life.
The family of Okon has been taken hostage by an evil-looking creature.
The thing just show for night. Yeah, big, where?
Come in. My sister, I was there what was happening in the news. We must suddenly brought back your family.
You think you can freeze them? No way!
When Amatem fought appear, malaria run for cover.
Amatem. Thank you.
Amatem fought against some gel capsules, tablets for adults, and suspension for Pekin. Amatem does not eat your body and are very easy to use. Ayua, remember how Amatem fought against scratch pin to confirm the original and against some gel capsules. Amatem, say no to malaria, yes to life.
The key to immortality is first living a life worth the society we live in to remember. To celebrate an educational icon, Madam Hamza Educational Foundation organizes a book lunch titled An Educational Icon, Madam Hamza. Special guest of honor, His Excellency Muhammadu Buhari GCFR, President Federal Republic of Nigeria. Chairman, Ambassador Professor Jibril Aminu. Chief host, Madam Nasir Ahmed Rafai of R, Governor Kaduna State. Chief launcher, Hakim Bello Osagi. Guest speaker, Professor Ango Abdullahi Magajon Rafin Zazo. Book reviewers, Professor Abubu Mashelia and Mahmoud Jenga. Royal Father, Alhaji Muhammad Saad Abubakar III, CFR Sultan of Sokoto. Royal Host, Alhaji Dr. Shehu Idris, CFR Emir of Zazo. Arthur, Jibrin Ibrahim Goma. Date, 5th November 2016. Time, 10 a.m. Venue, Umar Musa Outdoor Hall, Murtala Square, Kaduna. Come, let us be grateful to the people who made us happy, such as the likes of Madam Hamza.
Whenever pain occurs, you want quick relief. Try new Nurofen Express. It goes to the source of pain and gets to work in under 15 minutes. That's why Nurofen Express delivers fast and effective relief. New Nurofen Express works at the source of pain.
fast.
Being a mom is great, but when your child has a fever, you don't know what to do. I trust Nurofen for Children to take care of my child's pain and fever.
Effective relief you can trust. The House of Representatives Committee on Local Content welcomes the public to a stakeholders meeting on expatriate quota for oil and gas companies in Nigeria with the Honorable Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Honorable Ministers of Interior, Labour and Productivity, Foreign Affairs, Executive Secretary, NCMB, Controller General of Immigrations, and Managing Director, Oil and Gas Free Zone. Date, Thursday, 3rd November 2016. Venue, Conference Room 028, House of Representatives, National Assembly Complex, Abuja. Time, 10 a.m. Special Guest of Honor, Right Honorable Yakubu Dogara, Speaker, House of Representatives. Honorable Emmanuel Ekon, Chairman, House Committee on Local Content, Announcer.
DIVCON, the annual Divine Commonwealth Conference of the Church of Nigeria Anglican Communion, holds once again at the National Christian Center, Abuja. Heed the call, experience the power in praise, receive divine favor.
Your testimony is just beginning.
Let the anointing of the 2016 DIVCON theme, Fear Not, and the unseen power of our God empower your life. DIVCON, 7 to 11 November 2016, 8 a.m. daily. Come and be empowered to triumph. Convener, His Grace, the Most Reverend Nicholas Oko, Metropolitan and Primate of all Nigeria Anglican Communion.
The second round of the Bank of Industry Graduate Entrepreneurship Fund, GEF, is now open for entries. The scheme is to encourage graduates of tertiary institutions to venture into business and become employers of labor rather than job seekers.
To be eligible for this program, the core member will have to take part in an online business plan competition.
The selected coppers will undergo a 4-day intensive entrepreneurship capacity building program that will run simultaneously in NYC camps across the 6 geopolitical zones of the country, including Lagos.
Successful core members who are able to produce bankable business plans would be provided with loans of up to 2 million naira at 9% interest rates per annum, with tenures ranging from 3 to 5 years.
Hurry! Go to the Graduate Entrepreneurship Fund online application portal at www.boinigeria.ng/GEF and submit your business idea. Application portal closes at midnight of November 7, 2016.
Bank of Industry, transforming Nigeria's industrial sector.
The Emir of Kano, His Highness Alhaji Muhammadu Sanusi II, and Chairman National Organizing Committee, heartily invites the general public to activities marking the 10 years anniversary of His Eminence, the Sultan of Sokoto, President General, Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs in Nigeria, Alhaji Muhammad Saad Abubakar, CFR, MNI. Wednesday, November 2, 2016, dinner at Sultan's Palace. Thursday, November 3, 2016, symposium at Umaru Ali Shinkafi Polytechnic. Friday, November 4, 2016, supplications and visit to the tomb of Sheikh Fodio. Jumu'at prayer at Sultan Bello Mosque. Dinner to be hosted by His Excellency, Sokoto State Governor, Right Honorable Amin Wazir Tambol, CFR, Mutual Sokoto, at the Presidential Villa. Saturday, November 5, 2016, Grand Durbar at Sheikh Kangiwa Square. Announcer, Chairman, National Organizing Committee, and Emir of Kano, His Highness Alhaji Muhammadu Sanusi II, CON. You are all welcome to the seat of the Caliphate.
Welcome back. If you've just joined us, you're watching News Extra on the NTA. Now, let's talk security. As part of efforts to combat the emerging security threats in Nigeria, the Minister of Defense, Mansur Dan Ali, has commissioned the first African indoor shooting gallery range, as well as Faculty of Military Science, to be used by the cadet and other military personnel at the Nigerian Defense Academy, Kaduna. Muhammad Umar Anji reports.
The Nigerian Armed Forces, in its continued effort in enhancing the professionalism of its personnel, is evolving several strategies. The 300 meters shooting gallery range has computerized features to train the Nigerian Defense Academy cadets in weapon handling. The minister described the gallery as a monumental achievement by the Academy, adding that mastering the skills and techniques of weapons handling is essential to all military personnel.
A transformation
of the Nigerian armed forces has come to a reality that we've been talking about. It starts with the cadets. If you don't have good cadets, you don't train the cadets very well, then you cannot have a good officers. The academy is a place whereby our noble and our respected generals were trained.
Also inaugurated a Faculty of Military Science and 12 training vehicles acquired to ease hardship of cadets undergoing training. Being the only military university in Nigeria and first of its kind in Africa, stakeholders say efforts will continue to be made to enhance quality of training of officers and men at all times. In Kaduna, I am Muhammad Umar Ajingi, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar, has extolled the place of accounting in the quest to fight corruption and revamping the economy. Air Marshal Abubakar stated this when he played host to officials of the Association of the Nigerian National Accountants of Nigeria, NAN, led by its national president, Anthony Nzom. Ruben Okala reports.
Members of the Association of National Accountants of Nigeria, ANAN, are in Abuja for their mandatory continuing professional development to make them current in their chosen profession. The Chief of Air Staff says accountants remain relevant in the scheme of things, pointing out that accounting personnel in the Air Force are mostly members of ANAN.
The Nigerian Air Force has benefited immensely from the practice of your association. Things are hard in Nigeria, but like you said, I want to share your optimism that I believe these are just temporary issues with the economy. Very soon we will be back again and working for the benefits of our people.
Speaking on the fight against insurgency, the Chief of Air Staff expressed optimism that IDP camps in the northeast will soon be empty as displaced persons will be returned to their homes. ANAN President commended the Nigerian Air Force for its role in the fight against insurgency and other forms of criminality. He expressed happiness with the accounting system in the Air Force.
Nobody complains of Air Force. Nobody has ever come and say, Cobble is missing in the Air Force. It's because of ANAN members who are here. And they are doing a very good job.
Delighted over his visit to NAF headquarters, ANAN President and Chairman of Council has advised on the need for what he calls forensic and fraud preventive sections in various organizations in the country to guard against corruption. Ruben Okala, NTA News.
And still talking security, a university lecturer, Professor Okoli Ocholi, has raised an alarm over the number of youths on Nigerian streets in the name of petty trading, saying they could be manipulated for violence. This was in a paper he presented at the graduation ceremony of Course 9 participants of the Executive Intelligence Management course at the Institute for Security Studies. Abdullahi Gariba Benunku tells us more.
It is a common sight on major streets of Nigerian cities, useful age labor being wasted. This was a concern of Professor Okelo Ochuli. In a paper, Nigeria's economy and democratic governance, challenges and prospects for the change agenda, the political scientist says there is danger in abandoning this young generation to their fate. He challenges nations to work towards economic freedom and be more interested in inventions and manufacturing rather than importation.
The imported frozen condensed milk and powdered milk, and the Canadians are so happy that they could bring into Nigeria condensed milk. Condensed milk, each time you pop the top, think of the cow in Nigeria whose milk you're blocked. You're opening the milk from Canada.
The graduation lecture was rounded off with an interactive session relating the topic to matters of security.
That we must think globally, as they say, but act locally.
It is a thing of joy as these participants of Executive Intelligence Management course graduate. What is required of them is to carry on the collaboration and synergy beyond the borders of this institute in the interest of national security. In Abuja, Abdullahi Garba Kudu, NTA News.
The federal government has reiterated its commitment to providing an enabling environment for private sector participation in the operations and provision of services in the maritime sector. Minister of Transportation Rotimi Amechi stated this while speaking at the World Maritime Day celebration in Lagos. Ken Igberuge has more details.
By the International Maritime Organization that more than 90% of global trade is being transported via the shipping industry. This contributes immensely to the economic development. In Nigeria, opportunities are abound in the maritime sector capable of lifting the economy to higher heights. But these opportunities remain largely unexploited. The Minister of Transportation, Rotimi Amechi, attributes low level of investment, lack of requisite funding, and high charges as some of the challenges facing the industry.
The gap in manpower development is addressed by upgrading capacity in the institution to provide the needed professionals and skilled personnel to run the industry.
Discussing growth and development of shipping industry in Nigeria, creating enabling environment, a master mariner highlighted policy, security, port facilities and manpower development as some of the constraints affecting the growth of shipping industry in the country.
So as to create the necessary enabling environment for a vibrant modern industry. This is indeed not exhaustive, given the enormous and diverse nature of the industry.
We need for the Nigerian ports to have expanded capacity to take on additional traffic.
We must have a long-term strategy, both a medium-term and long-term strategy on how to grow tonnage, how to, of course, enhance our infrastructure, and of course, how to attract people to invest within our maritime environment.
Stakeholders agreed that for the country to scale its present economic hurdles and consolidate its chances at future economic stability, stakeholders must return to the drawing board to revamp its shipping industry. In Lagos, Ken Igbeluge, NTA News.
Now, the Abuja-Kaduna Standard Gauge Railway commenced operation officially 100 days ago and has moved about 52,000 passengers. Correspondent Oyinaya Kalu-Oka in this special report takes a look at the challenges of mass transit services so far.
Operating Monday to Saturday twice daily, the first completed standard gauge railway in Nigeria is said to be attracting so many passengers. A total of 26,756 passengers traveled on the train in August, with 5,667 on first class and 21,089 passengers on economy class. 24,982 passengers were on the service in September, with 5,223 passengers on first class and 19,759 passengers on economy class.
I should say congratulations to Nigeria.
I'm so happy about the whole thing. With just 4 coaches, the high traffic of passengers comes with its challenges. You can see behind me are some young, vibrant students who have paid and they are with their tickets, but they are standing.
Many of our people here are staying stranded without seats.
Management of the Nigerian Railway Corporation says they are aware of the problem and working towards addressing it.
We are telling our staff to minimize such situation. We want to maintain a standard. We don't want people to be standing on the train.
Aside from bringing in more coaches, the NRC said the lift, which will aid physically challenged passengers, will soon start operation and security checks intensified.
But we are hoping to have more. The procurement process has started, and rolling stock, that is coaches and the engines, is not something you just go into the market and pick.
So when are you likely to have more?
By January ending, we are expecting the locomotives to be in town. 2.
But before the coaches arrive, 9-year-old Henrietta Yakubu says she is fascinated by the scene and beauty of Nigeria, even though she rode standing due to inadequate seats. Oyinaya Kalu-Oka, NTA News.
I must say I've been on one of those trains. I must tell you, it's a wonderful ride. Now, the Federal Capital Territory Administration has resumed construction work on some stalled road projects within the nation's capital, with the intention of completing 10-lane Umar Musa Yar'Adua and Kubwa Expressway by the end of this year. Mitari Ikben reports that the inclusion of the road projects in the 2016 budget has encouraged contractors to return and remain on site.
Around the airport junction of the Umaru Musa Yaradua Expressway, final level of asphalt has been laid on the lanes that were previously diverted and has now eased traffic along the Gwagwalada-Giri axis. The Inner Southern Expressway, also known as Goodluck Jonathan Expressway, is also receiving attention from AYA roundabout through the Area 1 interchange to Galadimawa roundabout. Director of Engineering Services, FCDA Adamu Abu, is optimistic that all auxiliary services such as installation of street lights and telecommunication ducts along the airport and Kubwa expressways will be completed by next year.
The popular Kubwa Road. Only some small work remaining at railway, where the Kaduna-Abuja railway crossing. And that one, beyond reasonable doubt, we should be able to finish that road by the end of this year. And the administration has made enough financial plan to ensure that that is achieved.
Potholes along the AYA junction and routes in Garki district have also been covered to ease traffic flow in the nation's capital. In Abuja, Mitaire Ikben, NTA News.
Strategies towards improving safety standards on the nation's highways is one of the means of curbing losses in human capitals have once again taken center stage. This was at the 20th Zonal Retreat of the Federal Road Safety Corps in Makurdi, Benue State. Charles Abba reports that the Corps Marshal, Boboye Oyeyemi, says more scientific methods are to be employed to curb road accidents.
The inspection of the guard by the Corps Marshal of the Federal Road Safety Corps, Dr. Boboye Oyeyemi, kick-started the annual conference of the Federal Road Safety Corps, RS4, comprising Plateau, Nasarawa, and Benue State. The conference has as its theme strategies for improved enforcement and public education towards reduction of road traffic crashes in Zone RS4 of the Federal Road Safety Corps and the nation at large. Corps Marshal, Federal Road Safety Corps, Boboye Oyeyemi, who decried the huge number of lives lost to road accidents annually, said the Corps has embarked on various strategies to curb the menace and will continue to improve on them.
Most probably for us to review the level of patrol activities and our preparation and making our personnel getting ready for the high-density traffic movements. It's very important to prepare them and also rescue activities.
Deputy Governor of Benue State, Benson Abonu, who declared the retreat opened, frowned at the illegal bombs on the highways, but assured the core of the state government's continued support for its effective operation. A resource person at the conference, Ojeme Ewurijakpo, attributed road crashes to drunk driving, tire blowouts, overspeeding, and other factors. The way forward, he said, include overhauling of driver's license processing, prompt supply of regalia and identity cards to operators, and commitment to the promotion of general safety standards. Some of the stakeholders who lauded the Corps for organizing the conference called for fixing of Nigerian roads and warned against exempting high-profile Nigerians from the enforcement of speed limit device. The Corps Marshal had earlier visited the government house, Makurdi, where Governor Samuel Otom was decorated as a patron of special marshals alongside others. In Makurdi, Charles Abba, NTA News.
Up ahead, business matters and issues of post-harvest losses that farmers experience year after year. This is News Extra. We'll take another break and we'll be back in just a moment.
See, come this gizzard. Put the liver.
Yes, I'll go put Oga. This is so you have plenty.
Why you shake now? What do they worry? Cut them now.
Make I put this one go. Your money is to pay for this one too.
I don't pay already now. See, if you pay yesterday, you know they pay today. Now free tomorrow now.
Make I tell you, wallahi this one no be close to your support. Pretty tomorrow it never reach here. Wallahi you kwa. Somebody like you are go pay me my money now.
Now lie they everywhere.
What if? You are go pay me for my money. Like pay me my money now.
Yeah, calm down. Calm down.
As you talk my meat, like tell me now who I go pay for this here? Who go pay for all this meat? You tell me my
Whatever airtime or data you use, in one day you can get double the amount back tomorrow to browse, text, and talk to all networks. Free. Dial *600# today.
The largest data network, Glow.
grandmasters of data. This must be one of Mother Nature's greatest gifts. But there's something else it gives us. When we see such beauty, we want to share it with those we love. That's what LG wants you to see. Just what we see now, through our technology. LG OLED TV.
Taste the nectar of paradise. Chi Exotic Nectar in pineapple, coconut, multi-fruiter and other exotic flavors. The taste will take you there. Chi Exotic Nectar, escape to paradise.
House of Chi.
Success. I always wanted to make something of myself. Even when I was a child. With So Clean, my mother made sure that my clothes were clean and bright. With a 30% concentrated formula, washing is faster, brighter, and cleaner. Like millions of families, mine also trust So Clean. With my clothes and with my career. Because when all eyes are on you, you have to look the part. So Clean. It's your time to shine.
So Clean. Now with a new look and stain magnet technology for even better stain removal.
With free basics, one opportunity leads to many. Dial *141# to get Jobberman, Airtel One Touch, and many more without data charges. Only on Airtel.
Feel the tasty, refreshing goodness of Chi Iced Tea. Chi Iced Tea, made from premium natural tea leaves. With delicious fruity flavors. Chi Iced Tea. Drink positive. Come over to the tea side of life.
With an increasingly volatile economy, there has never been a more fitting time to own your space and carve out new opportunities. Join over 1,000 women at the 15th Women in Management, Business and Public Service WIMBIZ annual conference as we discuss the next frontier, new landscape, new possibilities. Topics include beyond parity, inspiring the next generation of female leaders, women in mining, unlocking the Nigerian mining opportunities, and the billion naira tourist.
It's truck month at Ford and we've got a Ranger just for you, Vincent. Here's the workhorse 2.5 petrol single cab with free Ford Protect, a 4-year 120,000 kilometer service plan. Or the 2.5 petrol based double cab with 800mm water wading capability. Available in manual transmission and with free Ford Protect. So while stocks last, visit Kostaris Motors today. Because, wait for it, thanks Vincent. We've got a tough Ford Ranger just for you.
Welcome back. If you've just joined us, you're watching News Extra on the NTA. Now, let's talk business. Improving the capacity of Nigeria's garment production in Nigeria is the focus of our business news segment tonight. Abdullahi Mohammed, of course, would also walk us through the light of today's business.
Hello, you're on to business news. The global apparel market is estimated to rake in about $3 trillion annually, and it is also estimated to employ about 150 million people globally. In view of the huge potential, successive governments in Nigeria have initiated several forms of interventions expected to stimulate activity in the sector. These experts say is yet to place a sizable number of Nigeria garment producers on the global map. The experts cited poor finishing and packaging as major challenges. The federal government agency responsible for the research and development of raw materials says it is, however, taking steps to develop the capacity of Nigerian youth who have passion for garment production.
We invited the youth corpers, the people in the garment production industry, and people that the tailors. We joined them together to give them training so that they can be able to produce for export purposes. Locally, most of them, they don't have training. They are not exposed to global market. The objective of this training is to ensure that whatever is being produced can enter the global market, and they are using international best practices.
That's business news. Thanks for being part of it. News Extra continues shortly. Stay with us.
I thank you very much, Mohammed, there for walking us through the light of today's business. Now, how would you feel expecting an alert from your bank or text message from someone dear to you, and suddenly there's a beep on your phone, only to open it and all you see is a text message you did not solicit for? Well, this scenario has become regular with the advent of a global system for mobile communication, GSM. Ruben Okala examines this and other challenges facing the telecoms industry.
Nigeria's communication environment opened up in 2003 with the Nigeria Communication Act that paved way for the global system for mobile communication, GSM.
Very useful in the sense that we're able to communicate easily with people both far and near.
But along with the importance are the various challenges which have remained unabated.
You register a SIM today, less than 5 minutes, you get another prompt. Bam, bam, a message telling you to come and register.
A lot needs to, it still leaves a lot to be desired.
Other issues include quality of service, hidden charges, drop calls, and the nagging unsolicited text messages.
They keep coming, even when you don't need them, Imagine expecting an alert, for example.
Alert for money?
Yes,
okay.
From your bank. You should be getting more of alerts from your bank, than getting messages like that. It's really annoying sometimes.
Attitude with SMS. Sometimes you get some SMS that you really don't need. You find them taking some charges on things that you really don't even...
These indiscriminate text messages.
You still get them, right?
Yes, it's a pain in the ass.
The Nigeria Telecommunication Regulator, Nigerian Communications Commission, NCC, is not unaware of the hiccups.
The unsolicited text messages must simply stop. And I want this information to go out, that Nigerians will not be subjected to unsolicited text messages for a charge. This is totally unacceptable.
And telecom consumers say they deserve more, tasking the regulator not to hesitate to wield the big stick on offending network operators.
The human and vehicular traffic here at the Abuja GSM village is a confirmation that the global system for mobile communication is not just thriving, but has come to stay. However, teeming consumers have continued to yearn for improvement of quality of service. Ruben Okala, NT News.
Thank you very much, Ruben. Pension Transitional Arrangement Directorate, PTAD, has assured civil servant pensioners of plans to commence verification exercise in the Northeast, South-South, Southwest and the North-Central zones as the remaining 2 zones are being verified. The Executive Secretary of the agency, Sharon Ikeazo, gave the assurance during the National Executive Council meeting of the Nigerian Union of Pensioners held in Abuja. Labour correspondent Emmanuel Ayimiro tells us more.
The National Executive Council meeting gave Nigeria Union of Pensioners the opportunity to appraise the activities of their union and the extent to which their plight is being ameliorated. The union president, Dr. Ebela Folayon, acknowledged that despite the current recession, the federal government has paid the paramilitary all the 42 months arrears of 33%, except the police, which got 3 months, while the civilian pensioners got 24 months out of 42. He, however, commended Jigawa, Anambra, Enugu, Yobe, and Lagos states for not owing pensioners any monthly pension.
Barrister Sharon Ikezo has assured us that the balance of 18 months of 33% arrears will be paid to us in no distant time.
For the police pensioners and others yet to be paid, Executive Secretary of PITAD, Sharon Ikezo, assured them that none will be left out.
We're clearing pensions. After clearing pensions, we can now start going to arrears. So we're working on sorting that out. Before the end of the year, they should get another 9 months, which will make it exactly 12 months, 1 year.
PITAD Executive Secretary says at the end of the pension verification exercise, the federal government will be able to have access to data of pensioners, thereby making proper budgetary and resources allocation that will put an end to issues affecting pension payments.
Indeed, we're sorry for, of course, the freezing of those visuals there. We sincerely apologize. Agriculturists advocating proper harvest management and storage to curtail losses for good food security, especially with reports of emerging bumper harvests across the country. This was part of submissions of discussants on NTA's Current Affairs program, Tuesday Live. Talatu Ezirike reports.
Nigeria, blessed with arable land and rich farm produce, suffers post-harvest losses year in, year out. In 2011, the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations said about 1.3 billion tons of food were wasted globally. Developing countries are the worst hit, with nearly 65% of the losses recorded at the production, processing and post-harvest stages. The scenario has raised concerns, especially the need to get it right with this year's expected bumper harvest.
There isn't any silo in this country, as I'm talking to you now, that is for the preservation of vegetables. And you know how much of onion we lose every year, tomato, and so on and so forth. We lose not less than 1/4 of what we produce. And that counts so much on our economy.
Most of our grains, maize, you can produce them 3 times, even 4 times in a year. The same thing with tomato. But if there is no proper storage, if there is no proper marketing, if there is no proper processing in place, a lot of the production in each season will be wasted.
During the time of Yaradua, there is a conditioning boxes that were made to preserve onions for 6 months off season, so that we can even export. Everything we grow in Nigeria, once it is the season, you see it all over. But once it's off the season, it disappears. There are no APC and PDP in crops. You don't play politics with food anywhere in the world.
It is generally held that the nation's quest for food security is achievable, particularly through the right policies and programs, adequate budgetary allocations for agriculture, and an application of homegrown technology. Talati Ezorike, NTA News.
The Nigerian Institute for Facilities Engineering and Management says there is the urgent need to entrench a culture of efficient facilities engineering aimed at blocking economic wastages. This was the view of the professional body during a visit to the Director General of the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, Yakubu Ibn Muhammad, in his office. Oku Ekbayong reports.
Maintenance of public infrastructure has for many years been a challenge, thus resulting in the waste of resources employed in its establishment by government. Facilitating national policies for the optimum performance of engineering facilities in Nigeria is therefore one of the reasons for the setting up of the Nigerian Institution of Facilities Engineering and Management, a division of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, NSE. The expert group, during a visit on the Director General of the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, Yakubu Ibn Muhammad, represented by the Executive Director Engineering of NTA, Saidu Umar Muhammad, is soliciting the partnership of NTA in the attainment of its objectives and the publicity of its 2016 conference and annual general meeting, which ends tomorrow.
We want to assist
in getting regulations out through the Council for the Regulation of Engineering in Nigeria so that we can midwife expertise in maintenance and in management.
The Executive Director, Engineering of the NTA, Saidu Umar Mohammed, said the birth of the institution is novel given the decay of public infrastructure following a poor maintenance culture.
I wish you success in your AGM, and we also intend to participate fully tomorrow.
This expert group, a division of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, says it is taking the driving seat to address the decay in the maintenance of national facilities in Nigeria. In Abuja, Oku Ekpeyong, NTA News.
Human Rights Conference on Capacity Building. That's next when we return. Stay with us.
From what we have seen, we have the capacity which we can rapidly develop or feed in ourselves. If we don't import rice, we stop importing corn and other grains, Nigeria will have plenty of money to invest into developing industries, especially manufacturing, textiles and so on, and develop iron and steel, and complement the infrastructure development. So really, the opportunities are virtually limitless, and we are very, very aware of this, and we are prepared to exploit it to the fullest.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Afrima. Thank you. Thank you. God bless Afrima. Merci, Afrima. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Afrima. Thank you, Afrima. Thank you, Afrima. Thank you, Afrima. Nafinga. Thank you. Thank you, Afrima. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm very grateful. Thank you. Thank you, Afrima. Afrima. Thank you, Afrima. Africa to the red. I love you all. It means a lot to me. Afrima 3.0. Wow.
On Sunday, November 6th, 2016, at Eko Convention Center, Eko Hotels and Suites, Victoria Island, Lagos, Nigeria.
Red carpet starts at 4:30 p.m.
Afrima live broadcast to over 84 countries start at 7:30 p.m.
This is strictly by invitation. This event is brought to you by Lagos State with support from One Campaign, Access Bank, PRM Africa, and the Nigerian Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
For hope, for celebration.
Every goal, every success deserves your all. Only 100% will do. Chivita, 100%. Chivita 100% juice. Made from real natural fruits. With no preservative and no added sugar. The best always believes in 100%.
Chivita, 100% or nothing.
Hello dear, you've got the first signs of a sore throat.
Yes, and I'm afraid it could be signs of a sore throat.
Don't you worry, just act immediately, but not with non-medicated throat sweet. Take an expert product, take Strepsils. Look at what it does to sore throat germs compared to a throat sweet. Strepsils not only stops the germs from multiplying, it even kills them.
Thank you.
Bye-bye, sore throat. Stop a sore throat early. Take Strepsils.
Jago, for the winner and you.
Goodness is getting better. Introducing new exciting packs from Hollandia Yogurt. Goodness just got better. Hollandia Yogurt. It's all good.
From the House of Chi.
Goodness is getting better. Introducing new exciting packs from Hollandia Yogurt. Goodness just got better. Hollandia Yogurt. It's all good.
From the House of Chi.
Whenever pain occurs, you want quick relief. Try new Nurofen Express. It goes to the source of pain and gets to work in under 15 minutes. That's why Nurofen Express delivers fast and effective relief. New Nurofen Express works at the source of pain. Fast.
Being a mom is great, but when your child has a fever, you don't know what to do. I trust Nurofen for Children to take care of my child's pain and fever.
Effective relief you can trust.
People think it's the ever-changing weather during Harmattan that makes them sick. Actually, it's the germs. Dettol protects from up to 100 illness-causing germs, including flu.
Does your antiseptic liquid kill the germs that cause flu, diarrhea, typhoid? Dettol does. Dettol provides 10 times more protection versus leading competition. So why take a risk with your loved ones?
Introducing the new look of refreshment. The new, happier, friendlier packs of Happy Hour by Chivita. Packed with more bursts of fun and refreshment. Happy Hour by Chivita. Happier bursts of refreshment. Introducing the new look of refreshment. The new, happier, friendlier packs of Happy Hour by Chivita. Packed with more bursts of fun and refreshment. Happy Hour by Chivita. Happier bursts of refreshment.
Thanks for being there. You're still watching News Extra on the NTA. Former Education Minister Dr. Obi Ezekwesili has emphasized the need for capacity building of citizens on constitutional matters and individuals if they are to enjoy full benefits of good governance in a constitutional democracy. She said this at the National Human Rights Conference in Lagos. Vera Chimuba reports that a mobile app on Know Your Right was also unveiled to the public.
The conference was a gathering of human rights stakeholders who want priority attention given to human rights provisions as enshrined in the Constitution. Dr. Obi Ezekwesili, who spoke on respect for human rights, a panacea for national development, said rapid economic growth will be attained when citizens demand for good governance.
That pressure on government will produce good governance. When that produces good governance, it will in turn mean that you have better policies, stronger institutions, better outcomes from public investments.
The United States understands that the existence of human rights helps secure the peace, deter aggression, promote the rule of law, combat crime and corruption.
Other speakers called for respect for human rights and unhindered access to information and materials as ways of closing the vacuum created by lack of knowledge. UN Peace Ambassador and convener of the conference said it was meant to expand the frontiers of human rights. He also unveiled a mobile app, Know Your Rights.
People believe the Constitution is bulky, but unfortunately, this right is what governs them. And it gives them the scope of the right they have and the limitation as well.
Peace, development, and human rights are the basis of constitutional democracy. Every constitutional democracy gives expression to human rights, knowledge of which by the citizens give meaning to democratic governance. In Lagos, Vera Chimuba, NTA News.
The final phase of the 2016 pilgrimage will be flagged off on the 17th of November in Yola, Adamawa State, as it records the highest number of registered pilgrims. The Executive Secretary, Nigerian Christian Pilgrims Commission, NCPC, Reverend Tor Uja, disclosed this at the inauguration of a security committee for the pilgrimage exercise. Lydia Bassi tells us more.
Tor Uja called on Nigerians who have served the country with integrity to reinvest in the nation by providing guidance and motivation for Nigerians and the next generation. Executive Secretary NCPC also enjoined Nigerians to be involved in security and charged the Security Committee to help ensure a crisis-free pilgrimage.
We would like Christian Pilgrimage 2016 to record 0% abscondment and 0% of deaths and 0% of security problems, whether in Nigeria or in the foreign lands where we're going.
Chairman, Security Committee, Major General Emmanuel Tsembe Nyenge, retired, assured the NCPC that they will bring their years of experience to bear on their assignment.
I believe that we give our best.
This is the first Security Committee inaugurated by NCPC since its commission and the first time a pilgrimage exercise will be flagged off outside Abuja. Lydia Bassi, NTA News.
Happenings around the globe and news from the sporting world just ahead on News Extra. Join us again.
Hello, dear. You've got the first signs of a sore throat.
Yes, and I'm afraid it could be signs of a sore throat.
Don't you worry. Just act immediately, but not with non-medicated throat sweet. Take an expert product. Take Strepsils. Look at what it does to sore throat germs compared to a throat sweet. Strepsils not only stops the germs from multiplying, it even kills them.
Thank you.
Bye-bye, sore throat. Stop a sore throat early. Take Strepsils.
People think it's the ever-changing weather during Harmattan that makes them sick. Actually, it's the germs. Dettol protects from up to 100 illness-causing germs, including flu.
Does your antiseptic liquid kill the germs that cause flu, diarrhea, typhoid? Dettol does. Dettol provides 10 times more protection versus leading competition. So why take a risk with your loved ones?
The production, distribution, and sale of counterfeit and fake drugs is a corrupt practice and a crime against humanity. This has informed several measures and strategies to combat fake drugs, including introduction of anti-counterfeiting cutting-edge technologies to detect fake drugs on the spot. These technologies are being deployed to all the states across the Federation, as well as the internally displaced people's camps. The President, Muhammadu Buhari, and his team are committed to this fight.
The federal government of Nigeria, in line with its anti-corruption agenda and posture, will fight a total war against fake drugs and other unwholesome regulated products in order to ensure that Nigerians remain healthy and well.
Lend your support and join NAFDAC to rid the country of fake drugs and unwholesome regulated products. NAFDAC, safeguarding the health of the nation.
Thank you for being there and welcome to the last lap of News Extra tonight. On Global Tidbit tonight, investigative reports point to possible graft against South African President Jacob Zuma as critics call for his resignation. And at least 17 people, most of them soldiers, suspected of committing rape and other crimes in a hotel in South Sudan. For more details, let's join Ronke Kolawole.
In South Africa, evidence of possible corruption at the top level of government has been found in an investigation against President Jacob Zuma. The 355-page report also called for further investigation into potential abuse, including the purchase of a mine by a company co-owned by the president's son. Still in Africa, Kenya has expressed shock at the dismissal of its commander of the UN peacekeeping force in South Sudan after a report said he and his troops failed to protect civilians in July, describing the decision as unfair and threatening to withdraw his troops from South Sudan. Away from Africa, some hours after President Nicolas Maduro ended a